Yeah, Sim and I have been close. Man, I knew this was kind of coming down the pipe, kind of looming, on his mind and on his heart about what's going on. But, as young men, you make hard decisions and whatnot, and that's just the kind of the nature of where we are right now in college football. Money's getting thrown around and whatnot, and young men have hard decisions to make. It was a real hard decision for him to make because he did not want to leave his teammates. Didn't want to do that, but as we sat down and he talked about it and slept on it and talked through it, he decided to come back, which was great. Got a few good people in his ear, and I think it was the best decision. You should have seen the room light up when he walked back in.
What does that say about, to come back to a situation like this where things are what they are, yes?
Well, that says a lot about the young man, about how much how much he loves the game, how much he cares about his teammates, how much it means for him to be a leader. And, for him to go back and renege on a hard decision that he had to make anyway and not double down on him in this day and time, that speaks highly about kind of who he is. And, I have a lot of respect for him coming back. I know our team does, too. And he lit up and he played at a high level this past weekend.
For you guys, the amount of football you've been on the field for on the defensive side, what does that do to a defensive line, especially when a team like Minnesota is just pounding and pounding and pounding?
Man, it's hard, but the big thing is we just gotta stick to our guns and be consistent. Playing our technique over and over again and not get bored. The biggest thing I was disappointed in, I let the guys know it down the stretch, is you get out of whack and you feel like you have to do something monumental other than just do your job. And if we just stay consistent and do our jobs, all those big time plays will come to us. And showing that to those guys on tape, I think they finally get it. That you don't have to do anything monumental, just do your job and the plays will come to you. And we'll make the plays we need to make on the field.
With Jalen Thompson, we've seen him on the field a lot more lately. What has he done as a true freshman to earn the snaps he's getting?
Well, first of all, in the offseason, he took it to heart developing his body, getting himself physically ready to play the game. And, he's an unbelievably bright kid. Him picking up the defense is easy to him. The biggest thing for him, I got to get him playing a lot faster, not trying to, diagnose stuff, but he's really strong at the point, gives us some pass rush ability inside and out, and he's on the rise, man. I'm really excited about his development.
What do you think about Derek Farmer's development as
D-Harm is really coming along. And he's one of the guys that I was just kind of talking about, like down the stretch, just trying to do more than he needs to. You watch the tape, you watch him, he's literally manhandling guys at the line of scrimmage. He's throwing them around, but, we just got to get him to consistently throw them around in the right place. He can do it. I think he's a special talent, and I think the sky's the limit for him. But, just the more time and whatnot on the field, he's emerging as a good leader, more of a quiet leader, but, guys respect him. And he's putting some good stuff on tape. Just need more consistency. That's all.
He's had some penalties. Some of the other guys have had. What's that line for some of those guys in terms of playing with aggression and knowing when to? And that's a tough line sometimes.
Yeah, a couple of those penalties, man. Face mask, man. You coming as a 300-pound defensive line. You're coming off a block. You got 600 pounds on you. You're coming off a block and you go on the tackle. And your hands get on the guy's face mask and you don't take them off fast enough. Those are aggressive penalties. There haven't been a lot of stupid penalties. The penalties I get upset about is the offsides, the stuff that we can control. If there's a personal foul penalty, like somebody's fighting or something like that, those are dumb penalties. But if you're being aggressive, you get a penalty like that, we're gonna do the best we can, like with the interior defensive line, trying to get hands out of the face of an offensive lineman or something like that. But if you're playing aggressive, you get a penalty like that, we're going to do the best we can not to. It's not intentional.
As you watch the film, just what have you noticed about Nebraska's ability to create gaps for the
They do a really good job. Their quarterback is their goal right now. They create extra gaps, by having the quarterback run the ball. You see a lot of old school option type plays, speed option, things like that. Some gap scheme, where they go, creating gap opportunities for the quarterback. But I think he does a really good job, being patient behind the block. I think the offensive line does a really good job. I know they got a few moving pieces in there, some guys that they got down, but I think they've done a good job of, working together and playing together and creating those opportunities for the quarterback.
Knowing that, do you have to change anything, or do you stress something to your guys?
They're running the ball, just for them to have the run on their mind more than anything. And the biggest thing, just go back to what I said earlier, is just consistently doing your job, believing the blocks and stuff in front of you and playing the blocks accordingly.
In the preseason, we talked a lot about the depth you guys hope to have, and some guys have said that they able to get out. How have you guys had to adjust with maybe not what you thought going into the year?
And we've had to adjust quite a bit, just kind of playing with who's available, right now. We probably go about 4 deep, maybe 5. With Brunning, we added Evan Brunning. He's kind of playing both ways a little bit right now, but we just kind of play with who's available. Try to keep a pitch count on the sideline. Try not let guys get too winded so they can play at a high level. But it's been a little bit of a challenge. Not quite what we hoped it would be, but we've been able to keep rep counts down for guys like Sim and Harm and Mav, and those guys be able to play at a high level, I think.
I know as guys make the transition from high school to college, obviously college is a lot more physical, guys are bigger, faster, stronger. But how have you seen Thompson just handle that transition, and can you give maybe some perspective on what it's like to be a freshman going up against experience?
Well, I think it's been pretty seamless for him, and it has helped. I didn't know how this thing was going to pan out, when they changed, when guys could come into school early, but it does help for them to get on the regimen and be able to eat right and work out and things like that, and then also to be able to learn the scheme, being around like in the summertime and whatnot. And I think that's helped him a lot. For him, he's lucky to be around a great group of guys that have kind of helped his development. Chris Bogle's been in his ear. He sits by him in the meet room. Guys, really hold each other accountable. You'll see him out there, at the end of practice, working together, just trying to clean up some of the things that he might be deficient on. And young man like that, he asks great questions. He watches a lot of tape. He'll stay a little bit extra and watch the extra tape too. So he's really invested in it. So his development has been really predicated on the amount of time that he's put in on it.
Zion's development, because obviously he fought through some stuff to play in the second half. But what have you seen from him over the course of the year? Leaving you guys in hurries, being a disruptor.
Zion just brings energy, man. He plays at a high level. Just the heart of a lion. Seeing him, fight through what he fought through at the beginning of this game, and he'd get an IB before the game, not be able to play the first half. But Zion has done a great job being able to learn how to watch the game and play blocks. I think he's overcome a whole lot just being able to recognize different formations and sets and backfield sets to know how to play. He's asking great questions, and when you point and shoot him in the right direction, man, he really plays at a high level. I don't think there was a couple reps last week. I don't think he could have got to the quarterback any faster as he hit that kid. His pass rush ability inside and outside, and how strong he is on the edge. He is a force to be reckoned with on the edge, and he has a presence, and he's missing when he's not out there.
With what happened in the fourth quarter, you guys, I know run defense is an 11-man thing, not just a D-line thing, but with what happened in the fourth quarter on Saturday, were the problems what you mentioned earlier about guys trying to do too much, and was it similar to what happened late in the Rutgers game, in the fourth quarter of the Rutgers game? Was there a commonality there? The commonality there is, I think guys were trying to do too much. Just being direct. Just the consistency from where we played in the first half, playing the run,
playing teams like Rutgers and playing teams like Minnesota, those teams play really close to the vest. And they got to understand, like, even if they get to 3rd and 6 or 3rd and medium or whatnot, those guys, they know they have, some of those guys know that they have problems and they're not going to expose them. So they're going to run the ball. And we got to just get that in our mind and understand that, you know, it's situational football. And the situation for teams like that have to play close to the vest, we got to be able to stop the run. And we can't just, kind of get out of sorts and whatnot and try to get to the quarterback on situations that, hey, obviously they're going to run the ball. Because, I went back and I looked at the tape, and they ran the ball 17 times in the 4th quarter. They did not throw the ball again. And we need to stop the run. That's just what it is.
Was there a wearing down process in there? They're going to look at pitch counts and so forth.
Nah, there was no wearing down process right there. At that point right there, we just need to do our jobs and get ourselves off the field.
Does Faith and Baggio have been on the report that we get pregame? Do you think we'll see them this year? Are like either of those guys close, or are they coming along?
They're coming along. Just still trying to find when and where, that they can fit. But that's a long line at the defensive end position. I like the way that they're developing. They're getting a lot of good reps over there, going against our offense, and we'll just see what holds down the line. They have a lot more games to go, so might get a chance to see him.
And Avery Dunn, we didn't see him for a few weeks, but then we saw him 2 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
Was he out for a particular reason, or how's he been coming along all season?
He's had a few nicks here and there, but he's coming along. He's playing at a good level for us too. He gives us some edge presence, and he also gives us some inside pass rush ability on 3rd down. So, but he's playing.
I think we're going to talk to Maverick. What's it been like coaching him? A guy who's been around a long time and played a lot of football and a lot of things here.
Man, I'll take 100 Mavericks. Maverick is a joy to coach. You're talking about his leadership. He's really on the details. He pushes guys, to be great. He demands greatness around him. And you just love that. A guy that's going to be on it is going to be a coach on the field. How hard he plays, what he gives for the game. He's the ultimate student athlete. He's going to do everything on and off the field the right way, and he's going to push everybody around him to do it the same way. And I love it because when somebody's not doing something right on and off the field, it's like really baffling to him. He don't understand it, which I love about him, and he pushes everybody around him to be great.
I think we tried to get Brandon Wright back from me with all the running backs down.
No, we had not had that conversation. I think he's more of a threat rushing the passer than he's running the ball right now.
He did that transition really well. I guess, when you saw him at the beginning of the year to where he is now, what is in his development curve?
I think it's been great because, I think he's starting to see the line of how he can rush now, understanding, how to rush different guys different ways. Simeon has been kind of instrumental in his development too, because they kind of sit near each other and they're really good friends. Making him learn how to rush the guys he's going against, because we make cut-ups and tapes of the guys that we're going to rush against and know, what work against them. And he's starting to use those moves and whatnot. You're starting to see what he's putting on at practice, starting to transition to the game. Man, he had a couple of rushes out there off the edge of the last game that were really lights out. And, we get that step sooner, man. He's good on top of the quarterback.
How special would it be senior night to get a rush for something?
I'm sorry.
How special would it be on senior night to win for some of these seniors?
It'd be really, really special to get a win in the woodshed for these guys, man. You really want them to go out the right way. Them sticking through this season and pushing through this and actually, keeping our team together, all right, spiritually, mentally, physically, the whole nine, pushing everybody through it. And you want these seniors to walk off with it.
See the coach.